Hey team, welcome to this 30-day video challenge where I'm going to release 30 games in 30 days. These games are games that you can play with your team at any time. Some of them include skills, some of them include conditioning, and honestly, some of them are just tag games that you can play with your team. So make sure you tune in every single day this month where I'm going to release a new video with a brand new game. And before we get started, I'm Coach Hart, this is Building Better Baseball, and this is the best place for baseball education. So let's get into this 30-day video challenge. I'm super excited to bring you these games. Let's get started. Hey team, welcome to day 13 of this 30-day video challenge. And day 13 is a tic-tac-toe running game. And I just called it tic-tac-toe running teams because there's two teams, but the official name is just tic-tac-toe, but it's just a different way to play it. It's kind of like a relay race, so I just called it tic-tac-toe running teams. You can call it however you'd like though. You're just playing tic-tac-toe in a relay race. For the ages, I think that as long as they understand the game of tic-tac-toe and they know how to play tic-tac-toe, then they can play this game. This is a great game for conditioning, and it also incorporates some quick thinking and kind of teamwork too. So there's a lot of stuff that this game works on. For the equipment, what you're going to have is you're going to have two teams. You're going to have one team right here, one team right here. You can play anywhere in the field. I'm just doing it on the infield just because this is what I had open, but you can literally set this up anywhere as a center in the outfield, in the infield, as a game you play in the whole team or whatever. You can put it anywhere in the field that you want. But you're going to have two teams and they're going to be on the same line. I would suggest that the two teams are on the foul line just because that's a distinct line for them to know when to go and when not to go. So you have two teams, team one here, team two here. And in addition to these two teams, you're going to have to set up a tic-tac-toe board. The tic-tac-toe board, the objects that you put into the squares or the circles or the areas, they need to be easily seen by the teams here. So this tic-tac-toe board here needs to be easily seen by the teams here. So they can't be like all the way across the outfield where the team can't really see the board, because that's how they strategize, right? They're going to strategize as their teammate is putting in a thing for the tic-tac-toe. Just make sure that the board is easily seen by the teams and the objects that the teams use are easily seen inside. So I wouldn't do like a ball bucket, because if you put a baseball in a ball bucket, the teams can't see whose object that is, right? And as far as the objects used, there will only be 3 objects for each team. All right, so 3 objects, and the objects for each team need to be the same for that team. However, each team, 1 and 2, they need to have different objects. So let's say that team 1 has 3 hats that they use, and then team 2 has 3 gloves, or team 1 has 3 baseballs and team 2 has 3 wiffle balls. So each team needs to have different pieces of equipment or different objects, but all 3 of them need to be the same. All right. So how you play is it's just a relay race, and you're playing tic-tac-toe against the other team and trying to beat them in tic-tac-toe. But you're doing a relay race and you have to run from the line from here all the way to here, put your object in whatever box you want, and then you run back and tag the next person. So it's a relay race and you're playing tic-tac-toe against the other team and trying to beat them. So let's go through a quick game here. Everybody starts at the same time. So 1 and 2 would both go, and they try, everybody always puts it in the middle for some reason, right? So they both try to put it in the middle, and it's first dibs. Whoever puts their object in whatever square or area first, then they get that square. All right. And it's usually pretty noticeable who puts it there first. But if it's literally a tie, you could stop the game and do one game of rock, paper, scissors to see who wins. Or you could just say, hey, bring your objects back and run it again. There's not really any way to distinguish between who gets there first. It's usually pretty noticeable. One kid will put their thing down and then you'll see the other kid put their thing down. So let's say a box is checked by team number 2. Team number 1 is not allowed to put a check in that box or put their object in that box, just like a real tic-tac-toe game. All right. So let's say that team 2 gets it into the center and then team 1 gets it into the left box here, right? They run all the way back. They tag the next person to go. Then this person runs here. They're on team 1, and let's say they put it in here. All right. And let's say that team 2 hasn't gotten there yet. So team 2 has to be all the way here. Now, this is where the strategy comes in, and this is where you have to be able to see where everything is on the board, right? So team 2, since team 1 already has one here and then one here, they obviously would win if they get the box here, right? So team 2 would have to run all the way around here or even through, right, over top, and put their object here in order to block team 1 from winning, right? Now that team 2 has that block, they might have this diagonal line here, so team 1 would then go here and then put their thing here to block them, right? Just like a real tic-tac-toe game. So now let's say that both teams have used their 3 objects. So let's say that team 1 got theirs here and then got theirs here, and then team 2 got here, and then team 2 put one here, and then team 1 blocks them here, and then team 2 goes here, right? So everybody has used 3 of their objects, right? Now the game continues to go. It continues to go until somebody wins. So what you do if all 3 objects have been used is you are allowed to move them to another box. So let's say team 1 has this box and this box, right? They, in order to win in the center, they would pick up this box here and move it to the top center for the win. So you, as soon as you use all 3 of your objects, you continue the relay race, but the objects that you're using are the ones that are already in the game, and you're picking them up and moving them to another spot. So like I said, another example is, let's say the team with the X's needs to get one in the middle here. They would pick up this X in the middle, this object that they have, and they would move it to this in order to get that 3 in a row. Just like this team did up here to get 3 in a row. So each team gets 3 objects. Once you've used all of your objects, you continue the relay race, and then you would just move them to another box, and you keep on moving them around the board until somebody wins. So that's where the strategy comes in, and that's why it's really important for the teams to be able to see the board and to be able to see where they're going to put stuff, right? So it's not a far run. Like I said, this is about half the baseline, right? So you're not running too far. It's just conditioning because you're running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's a lot of quick movements. It's a lot of quick running. It's teamwork. They can talk and strategize while they're waiting. And it's just a really, really fun game of tic-tac-toe. It's a new spin on tic-tac-toe. I do it all the time in my PE classes as conditioning or a little warm-up. And the kids have a lot of fun with it. So I hope you can incorporate this into your practice plans. It's just a simple game of tic-tac-toe. It's a relay race, tic-tac-toe. You can do it at the end of games and as a warm-up in the beginning, any way that you'd like to do it. And the ages, I would say, as long as they understand the game of tic-tac-toe and understand how to do a relay race, then you're able to play it. So hopefully you enjoyed this game. This is day 13. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for another game for day 14 of this 30-day challenge. I will see you tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed today's game, and I hope I explained it in a way that you understand and that you can explain it to your team so you can incorporate it into your practices. This is just another game that you can add to your practice plans to have some fun during your practices with your youth baseball team. Before you go, don't forget to grab your free 2-hour practice plan. I made it just for you to help you out in your practice plans. And in the description below, you'll also see a free baseball equipment sizing guide. There's how to get more playing time. There's how to do batting practice. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I made for you for free. Be sure to grab it before you go. It's all down in the description. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, this is Building Better Baseball. I'm Coach Hart, and I'll see you next time.